We're going to Germany to drive the Porsche Panamera. And hello from Munich. Twin Cam, well, one half of Twin Cam is here. Jan Tegler with you. We're here to do this. Wir sind hier in Munich to drive the new Porsche Panamera. And there are a whole group of them arrayed here in a plaza at Munich. We're right near the Flughafen, the airport. And looking forward to this. We're going to drive down to Tegernsee this evening. Should be a lot of fun. Turbos and the 4S model, I believe, as well.
Plattform mit sehr, sehr vielen neuen Assistenz- und Infotainment-Systemen, um Ihnen vielleicht zum Einstieg dort eine Zahl mitzugeben.
Well, yes, welcome again to the Porsche Panamera and to Germany. We are cruising around the Lake Tegernsee. This is in southern Germany and southern Bavaria, down by the Austrian border. And it's beautiful here. What a beautiful town, what a beautiful area. As I was saying, only have had a brief drive so far here in the Panamera. It's interesting, it's good, very comfortable. I think the belt line's a little high.
350 meters.
I'm being advised of some stopover or something like that. By Mrs. Navigation Lady from the Porsche Panamera. It really is obviously to do the dual mission of comfort.
You have reached your stopover.
Comfort.
The next stopover is on the limited access road.
As I said, really the mission of the Panamera is just what it's always been. It's twofold. It's to be comfortable, fast executive transport, and to also be kind of the fastest executive transport in its segment. It does drive well, there's no doubt about that. I did at one point get to give it a fairly good wag in sport mode and even sport plus. It was fairly quick. It wasn't overwhelming. The car, as I said, has 550 horsepower and 850 Newton meters of torque, which will translate that for you and put it up there on the screen.
Left after 400 meters onto Straße.
If it's more attractive than it has been, I'll show you some shots of the exterior. What they really wanted to do was sort of eliminate the humpback look that the original Panamera had, and that it was widely criticized, disliked for, whatever you would say. This does look better. They really kind of worked on giving the roofline an appearance that looks like
left
the 911.
250 meters onto Straße.
So I think I am now supposed to turn left when I can. All around the village. Yes, it's the Tegernsee. There's the lake. That's the proof you need right behind me. Isn't it pretty? Wow, that's gorgeous. You're looking at Bavaria, just north of Austria. And boy, is she pretty. I'll tell you what, it's not the easiest car to maneuver. And one of the reasons for that is because the rearward visibility is really pretty bloody bad. You need this backup camera that's in here. And I find that, if I can find drive, I find that not to be good. I'd rather be able to see out of a car than have to rely on a backup camera. And, well, let's face it, the haunches on this thing aren't small.
Check out these vents.
Because why should we actually have knobs when we can do that?
Haunted.
Haunted, exactly. As you can see, the interior of the Porsche Panamera, the new 2017 Panamera, is a nice place to be. Whether you are in the Turbo or in the 4S, the seats are very comfortable. You'll notice that they've worked a lot on eliminating many of the buttons that were present in the previous version of the Panamera, the original version. That's because they call it the Advanced Cockpit Digitalized for the Future. I think that's a good thing. I also think it may not be the best thing. Many of the controls, most of them, are touch sensitive, and they're not very hard to use, but there's so much functionality, it's easy to get lost. In the middle, you have a very impressive 12.3-inch touch display, as you can see here in some of these shots, that is terrific in terms of its resolution, its moving map displays, and all of the interaction you can have with it, with your phone. You can connect to the internet, particularly if you have an iPhone. It's all great, but it's kind of, to me at least, a bit overkill. On the steering wheel, there is a button, which is kind of like, well, I guess, reminiscent of the Manettino you'd find on a Ferrari steering wheel. This one is called the Sport Response button, and it's just a little rotary button that allows you to access normal, sport, or Sport Plus driving modes, so that kind of makes it easy, and that's good, and that's a button. That's kind of my point. It's a button. But it is a nice place to be. I just think it's a little too much for my taste, a little bit of overkill. A bit about the engines in the Panamera Turbo and the 4S in the Panamera Turbo. Obviously, it is a turbocharged engine. It is 4 liters of displacement. It's a V8, and it gives you 550 horsepower, and that torque figure that I cited a little earlier. There in the 4S, you'll find a 2.9-liter V6 with 440 horsepower, which is plenty sprightly enough in most ways, and I think either one would suit you very well. You get a ton of thrust with the turbo, but it's not like it's lacking in the 4S. They seem to be nice motors. What do I think of it? Obviously, it's very, very capable. The Panamera has not lost that in its character, and it does fulfill its dual mission of comfort and speed pretty well. I would like more tactility, but then tactility is something I'm always talking about, and I've certainly talked about that with Porsche. You've all heard that from me before. It's good, but I'd like it to return more feel to the driver. For a long journey, the comfort seems to be pretty good. The seats are good, they're supportive, they're configurable. Porsche is fond of saying that the car is a rolling computer, and you kind of do get that in this car. You get it more than you did in the previous Panamera, which is both a good and a bad thing, I think. It's becoming a little bit too artificial. But it is a kick to drive it around here in Austria, and just look at this. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And so quite literally, we say goodbye to Munich and the Porsche Panamera. Yeah, it's good fun. I wish it felt a little bit more analog, but good fun. Hope you had fun. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.